Me, it's not a question of taking a risk or anything like that, because it's not a career for me, and I'm not come here to make a name for myself. I've come here to enjoy acting, you know. So I do a little bit. I do maybe 100 days a year. I choose whatever, you know, series or television or films or whatever I want to be a part of. And I do focus on that I shouldn't feel that I have done this before. And with this character, Boris, of course, is nothing close to anything that I've ever done. So it was really, some of the scenes were, you can't imagine any other character playing a scene like that. So it was very satisfying for me. And I've always tried to do that in real life as well. And that has kind of translated also into my journey as an actor. I mean, right from the beginning, I mean, a lot of people don't know that even when I became a model, which was in 1989, I also started my first company, which was an event management company. And I'm still an event manager, and I still manage a lot of events across the country. So I try to do, I have two separate lives anyway. One is away from the screen and one is on the screen. And they're both very, very separate. And in both, I try to do as many different things as I can.
You know, it also remind me, as you said just right now, it also remind me on your 50th birthday.
Yes.
And your walk
Yeah.
on the beach.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What would
Yes,
you say about
of
that?
course.
Do you-
Well, see, right from, I would say, modeling itself, you know, it's not that I wanted to be a model, because at the time I became a model, I didn't even know modeling was a profession. Of course, I had seen hoardings, and at that time, I remember I would have seen Karan Kapoor, and I would have seen even Jackie Shroff or Kabir Bedi on hoardings. But the kind of background that I have, which is very academic, all four of my grandparents were doctors, my father was a scientist, my mother taught biochemistry. There was no connection with the media or glamour or anything like that. So when somebody offered me a job, I had actually said no. That I was very shy, I didn't want to be photographed, and I said no, but then they offered money, and they said, you know, we're going to pay you a lot of money, and it was a lot of money, and I said yes. And I did that first campaign, and then it was just, I said, oh, this is interesting, let's do it, and I continued like that. People remember Made in India, which was one of India's first music videos, and I was in that, and it became very popular. But even when I was doing that, I was like, this can be much better, and that is my, I told Ken Ghosh also, this is so tacky, who's leaving? You have to do what you think is going to give you joy. You know, you can't really stop yourself by thinking, oh, what are people going to say? A lot of actors stop themselves from playing roles because they think that their audience won't accept them. You know, so I don't live like that. In fact, when I first put up a picture of Boris, which was a behind-the-scenes photograph. It was just my eyes and my nose. So you could see the nose ring, and you could see my eyes, which had the kajal. And my face was almost covered with gulal, you know. And a lot of people said, "Ye kya hai? Where? This is not you." So I'm saying, of course, it's not me. It's a character, but I didn't say that. But this is the thing that people have, you know. They love certain things, they like certain things, they want things to be a certain way, and when it's not, they get a little upset. And they said, we like you as this macho, masculine guy, and we don't like you with this long hair and this bindi, and what is this? But, you know, that's not my problem. So I have to do what I want to do. And so I'm very happy with playing Boris in Poroshpur. And so far, then people started to like it when more trailers came out, when there was a little bit of the action, a little bit of the scenes, then they saw it. And then I think 99% of the comments that I get today, in fact, one trailer was released yesterday, were like, this is absolutely fantastic. So it's good till now. I really hope that I like the first episode, and I really hope that everybody else does too.
It means you're saying you're not here to please anyone.
I'm definitely not here to please anyone. I'm not here to hurt anyone either, for sure. I mean, I do think about those things. I would never do something that I knew would be offensive to something that I believed in, which would be, say, religious. Like, I believe that everybody has a right to their own faith, their own religion, and I respect all religions, all the ones that I know. I mean, I'm sure there are many religions I'm not even aware of. But if I thought that this would be offensive to any religion, I would not do it, you know. Even sentiment, any kind of sentiment, because there's no need. But when it comes to what I want to do, which is not hurting anybody, it's just myself, my own life, then I like to ensure that I can do that. Because if we can't live our lives the way we want, then what do we have?
But the most challenging part while playing this character,
Is to,
Keeping references.
is to, you know, again, we have this habit of stereotyping people, even whether it's doctors, or whether it's lawyers, or whether it's races, or whether it's a eunuch, or any transgender, or anybody. We have a habit of stereotyping people, that this person must be like this community must be like this. So for an actor, I would say that the challenge is to find that basic humanness that speaks to everybody. And that's when a character transcends all cultures and all people and all beliefs, is when you find that basic human connection. So beyond, so Boris is a transgender, he's a eunuch, he's neither man nor woman, but he's human, you know. So to find that basic humanness and try to translate that humanness onto screen so that he connects with every single person who's watching, that is the challenge. And that's the challenge for every character, whoever it is. It could be a mafia don, could be a murderer, it could be a nun, it could be anybody. If that character wants to connect with the audience, they have to find the humanness inside.
When yesterday I spoke to Shilpa and she said it's a blend of Kama Sutra and Utsav. What's your take on that?
It's a blend of Kama Sutra and
Utsav.
Utsav. Okay, I have seen Utsav. I have not seen Kama Sutra. I think you mean Meera Nair's Kama Sutra. Well, in terms of some of the visual aspects, yes, and some of the, I would say mostly the visual aspects, yes. The aesthetics, maybe, and I think that's good because it was very good quality. You know, Utsav was also tremendously good quality, and so was Kama Sutra. So in that sense, yes, the cinematography, from what I've seen in the trailers, has worked beautifully. The styling, the colors, the tone, all of that is beautiful. But in terms of the characters, I think it's completely different. Like, people would like to compare it with also Game of Thrones. But I think the fact that it is a medieval fantasy, that is where the similarity ends, and that it's a kingdom. There is a kingdom. In Game of Thrones, of course, many kingdoms, and it's, you know, feuds between kingdoms and so on. I don't know how they will progress from season to season, but the way it is set up now, it's nothing compared to Game of Thrones in terms of even the story or the characters. I think the producers have taken very great care to create characters that stand out individually and you won't compare to anything that you've ever seen before.
See, if anyone see the visual,
I'll give you another example. In Game of Thrones, so I've not seen Game of Thrones, but I've read all the books. There is a character called Varys, who is a transgender. I don't think they say it, or maybe they do, that he's a eunuch. I can't remember that particularly. But Boris and Varys, there is a similarity in the sound of the name, but no similarity in the character at all. So there are, I mean, they're human beings, you know, they're in a kingdom. There's a king, there's a queen. So obviously those things will be there, but everything else is completely different.
The film also, you know, shows or convey, it talks about woman empowerment.
It does.
And you know, it also, when I talk about the title itself, says Porashpur.
Yes.
Male
Yes.
dominated kingdom.
Yes.
Do you think it also exists in Bollywood?
What?
Male dominated.
Well, it exists everywhere in the world. I mean, we live in a patriarchal society. We know that, and that's where the whole conflict has come up of equality and you know, equal opportunity and glass ceilings and whatever else you talk about. We live in a patriarchal society, and we need to have equal opportunities for women, and women need to find their voice, and we need to help women find their voice. All those things are true. And the interesting thing is that it was true 1,000 years ago, it was true 5,000 years ago, and it's true even today. So that is an interesting thing to see, that again, at the human level and at the social level, how much have we changed? You know, not much. We still believe in the same things, even though technology has changed so much, our lifestyles have changed so much, but our values, our beliefs, our thoughts, how much has it changed? You know, so to see when a person is in a position of power, or a person who is in great difficulty, what is the journey they choose? What is the choice? What are the choices they make? How much has that changed? And what do they base their choices on? What are their needs? What are their dreams? What are their ambitions? How much of that has changed? How much of the human story has changed? So it's interesting to see that in a setting like this.
You have a working experience with Annuji.
He's fantastic. Anu Kapoor, I've been a big fan. Again, he's like a chameleon. He and there are other actors in India as well who have been able to really explore playing different characters. He's always a surprise to see Anu Kapoor in any film, in anything that he does. He's always doing something different. And that is a dream life for an actor. I mean, he's done great stuff on the radio, he's done great stuff on theatre, and television, and movies, and in everywhere that he has been, he's done great stuff. And I think that is a decision, you know, it's a decision for an actor. And sometimes when you get too popular, you might get too caught up in that, you know. But he got popular maybe as a character actor, and that's great for an actor, because as a character actor, you are able to play whatever character you want. You're not caught up in the fact that, oh, people want to see me like this, so I can't do anything else. And some of our biggest, best actors, because they're so popular, get caught up in that, which is a little sad. But working with Anu Kapoor, I mean, I did 2 or 3 scenes with him. It's just a pleasure to see him, to be in the scene with him, to watch his performance. Sometimes you have to hold on to what you need to do because you're so busy saying, oh my God, he's so good, you know. And I think all the actors, again, the actors, a lot of new actors. I mean, I didn't know a lot of them, but I think they've been chosen for their ability to bring those particular characters to life. So I think the casting has been quite good.
Lastly, what message do you want to give the fans of Million Song? Why they come and be a part of Rajput? So it is already, the buzz is really positive around the scene.
Well, what I want from the people who watch, including people who already like me, is come and tell us what you think. You know, it always helps, and especially for an OTT platform, where there is so much freedom on choosing how you want to go ahead with the story, and that a lot of that depends on the response from the audience, which characters they like, which storyline they like. Sometimes when a character is really loved, the producers will kill that character. I mean, we've seen that in Game of Thrones, and especially on OTT platforms. You know, but the way the story will evolve in the future depends a lot on the response from the audience. So I would like the audience to come forward and say they loved this, they hated that, they hope for this, they wish for that. That would be the best return that we can hope for.
It means you are hinting the possibility of a sequel.